Good morning. I've been having some technical glitches this morning. I think I have my voice audio back, but I don't hear my music for some reason. So if you can hear that background music, just leave me a note. It may be, I don't know, I can't figure that out, but I think you can hear my voice. So anyhow, sorry about that. All these technical things, it doesn't take long and it doesn't take very far, and I'm outside my element. So today we're going to do another half mandala flow. So it might be best to orient your mat so the long side faces the computer screen. This is a moon salutation. Chandra means moon, Namaskar means salutation or salute. So a little different than the sun salutation. You work from one end of the mat to the other and then back to where you started from. It can be a brain teaser, especially if you're trying to teach it, especially if you're me trying to teach it. I love doing them, but teaching them, whoo, whole new level of difficulty. Let's meet me on the mat in Sukhasana. Let's come to Sukhasana, right in the center of your mat to begin with. I have a block at either end. We'll be doing triangle and pyramid, both ends of the mat, and sometimes it's nice to have a block down there for that. So if you would like blocks, feel free. I always like to have them close by. Sit up nice and tall. So the cycle of the moon, I know it's getting towards being done and moving into a new moon. I don't know, I don't think we're in a new moon yet, but the moon's been pretty, Venus has been pretty in the morning. I didn't see the moon this morning. That was a little sliver last time I saw it. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe picture the moon, however that appears in your mind's eye. And as you inhale and exhale, imagine that you're drawing that quiet, cool strength that comes from the moon. That energy into the body, a soothing but strong energy, a maternal energy, a nurturing energy. Three more breaths here. I think I have a message up here. Oh, yay, good. Hi, Cheryl. Alrighty, so sitting in Sukhasana, let's get started with our movement. Let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, take the right hand down, and we'll come into lateral flexion, but thinking of this shape as more of a crescent moon kind of shape. Breathing in to the rib spaces, like gills. Stretching those intercostal muscles. And maybe even leaning back a bit and looking up under your arm. And then up and over to the second side. Left hand down, right arm over. Breathe and reach, crescent moon. And maybe even shifting a bit so the heart looks up towards that starry night. Let's flow with this a couple times. So inhale up and exhale, fold. Side to side. Let's do one more each way. And back up to center. Bring the hands together above the head and exhale. Draw that moon home to the heart. Let's turn to the left and come into child's pose. So it can be a narrow child's pose, wide-kneed child's pose. I'm going to bring a block under my head for the sake of the microphone. And breathe up and down the spine now. And on your next inhale, press into table. We'll go through a couple cat-cow. So in your own time, following your own breath, wake the spine up and then add a little self-care here, some circling, just finding space, finding movement. And then let's take a down dog. Again, with the intention of space and stretching and waking up. And coming into the moment because of the sensations that you discover. And then floating the knees back down. Stay on your knees and swing your arms out and up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. We're going to take the left leg and come out onto the heel. So this gets to be a little of a balance challenge. Keep that foot flexed and reach down with your fingertips as you fold from the hip crease, stretching the back of the leg. Breathe. And then rising up, we're going to turn. You might have to help yourself out here and come into gate. So now I'm facing the long edge of the mat. Left leg's out long. I've rolled to the pinky toe edge of that leg. Let's reach up and over, stretching through the right side body again. And imagine we're breathing through those ribs like gills. And maybe even a lift and a look up. Now back up and take this right hand down. You can bring the hand to a block if you like. We're going to lift the left leg, reach through the heel, reach up with the left arm, and then bend the left knee, reach back for the ankle. So modified half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Breathe. And then come out of this the same way you got into it. Bring your left knee in, and we're going to sit back down, coming into child's pose here, and breathe. On your next inhale, lead with the spine, so roll up one vertebrae at a time. And extend the left leg out. Coming into gate pose. Swing up and over. Breathe into the left ribs. Maybe lift the heart, lift the gaze. And over to our modified half moon pose. Again, you can bring a block under your hand if you need to. Reach up with the right leg. And then bend the knee, reach back there for the ankle. Open through the chest. You play with your gaze here. Extend that leg out long, come back to gate, and then we're going to turn so we're on that heel again. I'm folding forward, stretching the back of the right leg. Breathe. Now draw that shin underneath you and come back to child's pose, this end of the mat. And you can move your shoulders a bit in child's pose, bringing a little twist to the spine if that feels good. Rising up in child's. Let's do some cat-cow. A little quicker this time. Little self-care. Down dog. Back to table. Rise up on your knees. Right leg out. Fold forward. And then rolling over to gate pose. Up and over. Half moon pose, modified. This hip wants to cramp today. And then back out. Rise up. Come into child's pose. Just briefly, then rise up. Let's take this to gate. Up and over. Half moon, modified. Back to gate. Rotate onto that heel, spin around on your knee. You might have to help this one out. Fold forward. Come back to child's. Ripple forward with the spine. Downward facing dog. Now look forward between your hands and let's walk the tightrope to the left side, short edge of the mat. Once you arrive, bend your knees a lot. Grab opposite elbows here and sway a bit side to side. Now hang on to the elbows, but keep the knees bent and round up one vertebrae at a time. And then swinging your arms out and up. Exhale the hands home to the heart and turn to face the long edge of your mat. So you're standing on the left edge of your mat, I do believe. Finding mountain pose. Inhale, swing the arms up. We're going to take the right wrist in the left hand and fold to the left. Inhale, center. Second side, left wrist in the right hand and fold to the right. Back to center. Take the hands to the hips. Step out in a 5-pointed star. Now we're going to come into goddess, which means we draw those heels in, toes point out, and come into goddess arms and squat. Let's hold this for a few breaths, feeling the power of goddess. 2 more. Now back to 5-pointed star. Take your hands to your hips. So we're going to turn to the right. A warrior 1 position of that left foot. And the right toes turn to the right. We're coming into triangle. So arms come out. I'm going to lean to the right until I can't go any further. And then let that hand come down. A block can be a nice thing here. Reach up with the left arm, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Play with your gaze a bit. Look up, look forward, and triangle, you can lean back a bit with that top arm, which generally means you're just squaring the shoulders. We think the shoulders are squared and we're still really kind of leaning forward for balance. Now look down towards your foot. We're going to transition to pyramid. So bring that left arm down. You can hang on to the block if you need to. You may need to step that back foot forward a little bit and turn the toes a little more forward. Folding at the hip crease, getting that nice stretch again in the back of the right leg. Breathe. Two more breaths. Mindfulness comes by being present in the sensation. Now come on to the ball of the back foot. And we're going to come into a kneeling lunge. So kneeling down. Swing your arms up. Come into Anjaneyasana. Sink the pelvis. Nice back bend. And breathe. 2 more breaths here. Now exhale, fold over that front knee. We're going to come into Skandasana, so side lunge. I'm going to come to the ball of the left foot and then roll to the big toe edge, turning my right toes forward and then coming on to the heel of my left foot. And you can stay here on the big toe edge if you need to, but try to come on to the heel, heel to heel, as you go side to side. And your side lunge. And then we're going to bend into the left knee and turn around, reaching over to the left. Coming back to our kneeling lunge. Lifting up. Anjaneyasana. Hold here. And then folding forward, getting ready to rise up in your pyramid. Tuck the toes of the right foot, and you may have to hop that foot forward a little bit. Coming into a straight leg in the left. Blocks under hands can be nice. And then opening into triangle. I'm going to take a block to the inside of my left ankle. And reach up. And breathe. Play with your gaze here, look around. Now rise up, pull the legs away from each other as you rise up and spin into 5-pointed star. I want your toes pointing out as you come into Goddess. 5-pointed star. And then we're going to step back to the left side of the mat, arriving in mountain pose. Let's take the hands to heart. Inhale, part the air. Exhale, let's fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Pull your feet away from each other. Swing your arms out and up. And exhale, the hands home to the heart. So I'm going to weave in a couple things as we go. Reach up and grab opposite elbows. Pull those elbows up. Inhale for length and exhale, fold to the left. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, fold to the right. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, arms down to the sides. So we're going to take that same opposite elbow grab, but switch the hand that's on top. And this time we're going to make a big circle, like a moon. So let your hips move, let your knees move. I'm going to start making my circle by going to the left, forward and down, over to the right and up. Let's go the other direction, to the right, forward and down, to the left and up. Let's do one more of those each way. Last one. Take your hands to your hips. Step out in 5-pointed star. Reach all directions. Take your hands to your low back. The heel of the hand you can see in the side camera. My fingers are pointing down. Drop your shoulders out of your ears. Use those elbows like butterfly wings, reaching back towards each other, and feel that open your front chest. And then take this into a back bend. Lifting the heart, lifting the gaze, but reaching through the crown of the head. And then folding forward here. You can release the hands down to the mat. And breathe. This time we'll just hang. You can bend your knees here if you like. Now bend your knees, take your hands to your thighs on an inhale, rise up. Position your feet for Goddess. Sit down into Goddess. Hold for 3. Rise up into star. Hands to hips. Getting ready for triangle to the right. Reach out and down and up. A block can be nice under your hand. Maybe you can get down a little further with a little patience. Let's see if you can stay long on both sides of the torso. So this isn't a rounding and a folding. This is torso stays long and you fold at the hip crease. Now let's rotate around into our pyramid. Remember, you might have to step that back foot forward a bit. Breathe. Now come onto the ball of the left foot and maybe a little further back. Drop that knee and rise up in a kneeling lunge, and then maybe sinking forward and down, finding Anjaneyasana. And then folding forward, getting ready for your side lunge. So you got to turn things around here. Come on to the heel of the left foot. Going to point the right toes forward and take your time here. We'll shift back and forth. Maybe you can come a little deeper this time. And then bend into the left knee. We're going to pivot around, getting ready for our kneeling lunge. Rising up. Anjaneyasana. Hold. Folding forward, getting ready to find your pyramid. Remember, maybe you hop that back foot forward. And pyramid and triangle are all about folding at the hip crease. Now rotate around into your triangle. Pull the feet away from each other. Swing your arms out and up. Finding 5-pointed star. Turn the toes forward. Prasarada. Let's find our back bend. And then fold at the hip crease as you come forward and down. This time grab opposite elbows while we're here. You can swing your forearms forward and back like the seat of a tree swing. Maybe do some figure eights with the elbows. Now pull the feet away from each other. Swing your arms out and up. Turn the toes out as you find goddess. Sink a little lower in your goddess. Maybe come to moon god with those elbows. Open through the front chest. Shoulders are lined up over hips. Knees stay open, lined up over the center of your feet. Inhale up, back to 5-pointed star. Hands to hips and step to the left side of the mat, finding mountain pose. Inhale up and exhale, fold. Let's round up one vertebrae at a time. Swing your arms overhead. And exhale the hands home to the heart. Let's weave in a couple of new things and we'll see how it goes. So inhale the arms up. Let's grab opposite elbows again to really pull up. We're going to do our side bend. Up and over, side bend. And I don't care which direction you start, make your big circle and go the other way. One more each side. I think this is the last one. And then release the arms down to the sides. Step out into 5-pointed star. Swing your arms out and up. Take the hands behind you. This time lace your fingers. Now draw your elbows back, push your knuckles down, pull the fists away. Keep pulling the feet away from each other. Fold at the hip creases as you lower down. You can bend your knees here if you need to. Breathe. Now release the fingertips to the mat. Rotate your feet in. Get ready for Goddess. So the knees are bent, and I'm going to rise up in Goddess. Once I'm in Goddess, let's tick-tock left and right. Back to 5-pointed star. Hands to hips. Getting ready for triangle. Reach out to triangle. Breathe. Now rolling into pyramid, maybe you step forward with that back foot a bit. And the toes rotate a little more towards the short edge of the mat. Now you should have a block close by if you're using blocks. Toss that out to the end, the short edge of the mat. And we're going to hop forward into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. So I'm going to balance on my right foot. Take that right hand in the block, kind of over to the right corner of the mat. So it's not directly in front of your foot. Reach up with the left leg, then stack the shoulders. And reach up with the left arm. Half moon. And if you want to come into Ardha Chandrasana, Shavasana, you can reach back for your foot. And then back to half moon pose. I'm trying real hard not to fall onto my table with candles. And then float that foot down. And come into your kneeling lunge. Finding Anjaneyasana. Make sure your feet are on railroad tracks. Now we'll come into our Skandasana. So side lunge. But before we get there, this is what I wanted to do. I want you to come into Malasana. So a yogi squat. And breathe. Now Skandasana. Once one way, once to the left. And then spin around. Getting ready for half moon pose. So I'm balancing on my left foot. Left hand, left block are in front of me and to the left. Lifting my right leg, stacking the hips. Reach up with your right arm. If you want a little more, reach back with the right ankle. And then coming out and finding your way to your kneeling lunge. That was wrong. Find your way to pyramid. See, this gets complicated. And then open up into triangle. And breathe. Pull the feet away from each other. Swing your arms out and up. Turn the feet to Prasarada. Inhale up. Exhale the hands behind you. Open. Fold forward. Let the crown of the head hang. Release the fingertips to the earth. Come into Goddess. Rising up. Star. And step to your left. Inhale up. And exhale, fold. And bring the hands to the mat and meet me in the center of the mat on your shins. We'll pause here. So that was a little half mandala. So we went from one end to the other. And remember, mandala is taking you all the way around the mat. I like those, but I'm not the best teacher for those. Those give my brain cramps. So sit up on your shins, and let's tuck the toes for a moment. So get a little stretch in the plantar fascia. Inhale, come up on the knees. And exhale, sit back down. Inhale, come up on the knees. Let's do a little Tibetan sun salute. You won't be on your mat for some of this, but I think that will be okay. Reach out, come into your back bend. Come into cat back. Lift the hips into down dog. Lower the knees into cat back. Walk out to Anahata Asana, your back bend. Slide the hands to the knees and rise up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. Inhale, part the clouds with your hands. Exhale, walk out into your back bend. Inhale, cat back. Lift up into down dog. Exhale, cat back. Inhale, Anahata Asana. And exhale, hands to knees. Now let's swing the feet around and meet me in Badakonasana. So soles of the feet together. Shift your hips forward any amount to deepen this stretch. And then let's tick-tock back and forth on the sit bones. And finding some balance now that you brought awareness to those bones underneath you. And initially, let's just sit tall in this shape. If this is a shape that you feel kind of tight in, you can prop some blocks under your knees. You can also have your hips further back, so more space and less flexion in the knees. Find your place and breathe. Inhale, long spine, exhale, moving again from the hips. Just really slow, come forward, keeping that movement in the hips, keeping the spine neutral, maybe just an inch at a time. If you're forward enough with a neutral spine, you can bring your forearms to your shins. Let the weight of the forearms open up the shins a little, but push back with the shins. It's a little trick for the muscles. So you might get a little more space to fold forward. Now squeeze your glutes together. Feel that externally rotate the hips and you'll get a little more. Slide your thumbs in between your feet. Give your feet a good massage. And then open your feet like the pages of a book, and you might feel a little more release to fold deeper. Keep breathing. Rising back up, we're going to take the right leg out long, left heel comes close. Chest stays square with this long edge of the mat. Take the right hand to the right shin, reach up and over with the left. So we're going to start breathing into those gills again, those rib spaces on the left. And in this shape as well, you can lean back a bit, lift the gaze, lift the heart, breathe. Now before we leave here, just roll the chest towards that straight leg. Take the left hand to the outside of the right leg. Bring yourself into a little forward folding twist. Unwind this. Swing that left arm up and over. plant the hand, and we're going to roll to the big toe edge of the right leg and up onto the left knee. Reach. And then right back down. Let's switch legs. Right heel in, left leg out wide. Left palm, top of left shin. Chest is square, so we're not reaching this way, we're reaching up and over. Stretching through the rib spaces. Breathe like it's gills over there. Now before we leave here, we're going to shift and take the right hand to the outside of the left leg, anywhere, wherever it lands. So you're going to bring yourself into more of a twisted fold here. And then reach up and over, come to the big toe edge of the left foot and press down into the right hand, lift the hips and breathe. And then coming back down. Let's bring both legs out long, Upavista Konasana. I always like to shift around here. Roll your toes inward, lift up, kind of adjust the flesh over the sit bones. And then again, focusing on just inching forward. You can bend the knees, put something under the knees if you need to. Just a little bit at a time, moving right here at the hips. You'll feel the sensation in the hamstrings, the inner thighs. But you shouldn't feel strain in the low back. Now once you've found your edge, roll on the heels, flex the toes towards the knees, and the toes point up. And if you've got the space, you can reach out for your big toes and use that leverage. Again, with a neutral spine, lowering the heart towards the floor. Breathe. And then inhale, rising up. Let's come to our backs. And walk your feet wide to the left and right edges of the mat. Bring your arms out in the shape of a T. Let's do some windshield wipering here. And then come back to center and heel toe the feet so the heels are in line with your sit bones, and see if you can tiptoe those heels right up to your glutes or as far up as you can. Take your hands now alongside of you, palms face down. Coming up into bridge. As you inhale, push into the feet, push into the hands, and push the knees away. You can lift the back of the head up, reach through the crown of the head, tucking the chin, and then lower the head, make some space in the neck. Let's hold the bridge. Maybe we can deepen it by bending the elbows. Let your palms face each other across your belly. Push into the back of your upper arms, your triceps. Keep your thighs in line with your hips. Don't let the knees splay open. Now maybe a little more by coming up onto your tiptoes. This shouldn't feel like pressure in the neck. You should feel the shifting weight in the shoulders, not the neck. And then we can also lift one shoulder at a time, lace the fingers again, push the knuckles down, and maybe lift up a little higher. Breathe. And then we'll release down slowly, one vertebrae at a time, trying to arrive on a flat low back. So really press that low back down. Draw your knees up to the chest. Wrap your hands around the knees. And maybe even curl forward, a little counter stretch. And now release the legs long. Bend your right knee up towards your chest. Do some circles through the right hip. You can use the hand to direct those circles or just use the leg, but see if you can take the left hand to the left hip and remind that part of the back to kind of stay put, not flop around with this movement. Go the other way. Now keep the knee bent, and we're going to cross the ankle past the left thigh. Slide the left foot to the mat. Coming into a number 4 hip stretch. Now draw the shins, the thighs up towards the belly. Take the hands behind the left thigh, reach up with the left heel. And maybe even crawl the hands further up the leg. And come back down, unwind, reach long with both legs. Draw the left leg in, circle. And then finding your number 4 on this side. Remember to keep reaching, pushing that left knee away. Even as you're drawing your legs closer, keep pushing it away. Reach up through the right heel, maybe even up there to the right calf. And then release. Let's take the feet wide one more time and do some windshield wipering here. And then find your way into your shape for Shavasana. I'm going to take a reclined Badakonasana, so soles of my feet are together, knees are wide, and my arms are in much the same position. Just breathe. Chandra, moon energy. That's yin energy, as opposed to the sun is yang energy. We need both. We need a balance. And we need plenty to draw from so that we can alter the amount of each that we have to meet any given situation. Also need to become familiar with the qualities of yin, the qualities of yang, and the tools that we have within our yoga practice to help bring balance when we're out of balance. Now begin to deepen your breath and start moving in the body. Maybe a good morning stretch here. Knees to chest again. Let's roll from elbow to elbow. And then on to the right side. And find your way up to a seated position. So now it's morning. It's not dark anymore. Funny how that happens. Let's inhale, reach up one more time, gathering that cool energy of the moon. Exhale, draw that home to the heart, that quiet strength. May you have peaceful thoughts, peaceful words, a peaceful heart, and a peaceful world. Namaste. I'll be back Friday, 7 a.m. I'll see you there. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great Monday.